Online paper, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. Fine, so the session which we are going to start today is basically introduction to internal controls. Session which we are going to start up today is basically introduction to internal control. So since this is a free session, so there are few other students as well who basically joins online. So we will be finishing this chapter today. And when you talk about internal controls, so let me summarize this in this angle. So when you look at from internal control perspective, when you look at from internal control perspective, internal control is one of the areas, one of the key areas which has been frequently tested at the exam. So therefore, high weightage has to be given to internal control. So this entire topic will be consisting of 4 tutes. So this is basically tute number 7. So today we will be finishing tute number 7.1. That is basically the introduction. Then 7.2, we will be discussing about business processes. There are several business processes that we need to discuss. So we will be discussing 7.2 once we concluded 7.1. Then 7.3, audit processes, the procedures which the auditor are following with regard to the elements which basically link with these business processes. Then 7.4 is considered as evaluation. Evaluation of internal control systems of the business organization. So when you look at from a overall perspective, so this can be identified as one of the critical areas for your exam, so that it will be, I would say, expanding at least, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks, so that we will be discussing each chapter at different timelines. So today our plan is to conclude the introduction section. Clear? So the tute will be distributed shortly, and for the people who join online, so that they will be uploading the tute within another 5 minutes of time. Clear? Right. So before we come to the theoretical aspects, okay. So let me summarize this in this form. So we will be discussing this entire introduction chapter by way of a short note. We will be discussing the entire introduction of internal control chapter by way of a short note. So if you do have any clarifications, you can ask from me. Right. Okay. So let me start like this. Before we go to internal controls, what are the end objectives? What are the end objectives of having internal controls to business organization? What are the end objectives of having internal controls to business organization? Okay, before we start on the theoretical aspects, in your personal life, do you have any internal controls? In your personal life, do you have any internal controls? තමන්ගේ පුද්ගලික ජීවිතය තුළ අභ්‍යන්තර පාලනයක් මොනවාද තියෙනවාද? In your personal life, do you have any internal controls? With regard to financial management? With regard to financial management? Do you have any internal control with regard to financial management in ourselves? Yes or no? Yes. So what are the internal controls that we are having for our financial management, especially for the people who are working in the commercial sector? Audit sector එකකට නම් ටිකක් අමාරුයි financial management කරන්න, මොකද basic salary හරි අඩුයිනේ. But if you are working in a commercial sector compared to audit sector, so they are paying more. Okay, so what are the controls which prevails in yourself with regard to financial management? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Honorable people, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any thoughts? Okay, so let me put myself as an example. Okay, let's say I'm getting the salary on 25th. I'm getting the salary on 25th. Okay, so Monday I'm getting my salary, which is fallen on 25th. In my financial management schedule, I'm normally not using credit cards. මම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් credit card use කරන්නේ. I do have credit cards, but I'm rarely using the credit card. මට credit card තුනක් තියෙනවා, but I'm rarely using it. Okay, so most of the time I will be using debit cards. Debit cards. Okay, my first philosophy is this. I'm not keeping money in my wallet. මම මගේ purse එකේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සල්ලි තියාගන්නේ. හරි. මම මගේ purse එකේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සල්ලි තියාගන්නේ. හරි. maximum රුපියල් 500ක් 1000ක් අතරදී ඊට වඩා මම සල්ලි තියාගන්නේ. That is my personal way of managing finance. Why? ඒක සල්ලි තියාගත්තොත් කරපු දෙයක් දන්නේ නැහැ, මොනවද කරේ කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ, සල්ලිත් නැහැ අන්තිමට. Okay, so I'm normally using debit cards. Okay, so for an example, in order to purchase household items, I'm having a separate debit card. So once I receive the money to my salary account, I will be transferring a certain amount to this account, where I will be using this card only to purchase household items. Agreed? So then each month end, exactly I know what kind of expense which I incurred for my household items. Clear? Got it? I will be never using this debit card to pump fuel to my vehicle. I will be never using this debit card to pump fuel to my vehicle. In order to pump fuel to my vehicle, I'm having another debit card. I'm having another debit card. Once I receive the salary on 25th morning, 25th evening, I will be transferring a certain amount to this account. So exactly month end, I know what is my fuel cost. වාහනේට කොච්චරක් ඩීසල් ගහනවාද කියලා මම දන්නවා. Clear? Got it? Then I will be having another debit card to pay my utility bills, including electricity, water, Wi-Fi, etc. Dialog TV connections, everything. For a month, I exactly know what is my utility expense. Clear? Got it? මාසේ electricity bill එක කීයක් එනවද කියලා මම දන්නවා. So I will be transferring this to this account. Clear? Got it? Then I do have several loans, so that the first thing which I'm doing is, once I got the salary, I have given standing orders to pay these loans. Agreed? Then if there are any balance left, I will be transferring that to my personal account. Clear? Got it? Right. So this is how I manage my finance. Clear? So that is what you referred as what? Internal controls. In simple language, that is what you referred as what? Internal controls. Got it? Yes or no? Yes. From this, what you are trying to achieve? From this, what you are trying to achieve? මෙතන මොකද්ද achieve කරගන්න try කරන්නේ? What you are trying to achieve? You are basically managing the cash flows. Yes or no? Exactly, you know what is your salary amount, and exactly you know the areas where you need to incur expenses, and exactly where you know where the balance is left out. Agreed? Got it? The other philosophy in my life is what? My other philosophy in life is what? Based on my earning capacity, I would like to obtain loans as much as possible. I would like to obtain loans as much as possible based on my earning capacity. Agree? I would like to obtain loans as much as possible based on my earning capacity. Why is that? Once you get the commitment for the repayment, you will be definitely allocating that amount separately. Yes or no? Yes. Clear? So likewise, you need to have what? Internal controls in your life to manage what? To manage your finance. Same process is applicable to what? Business organizations as well. So when you look at from a broader perspective, the business organizations are implementing internal controls with the objective of achieving three objectives. Business organizations are introducing internal controls with the objective of achieving three objectives. So we'll be discussing one by one at the later stage. Right. First one is what? The first objective is increasing the reliability of financial reporting. Increasing the reliability of financial reporting. So that is the first objective of business organizations are implementing what? Implementing internal controls. So the main objective of implementing internal controls within the business organization is to increase the reliability of the financial reporting. Okay, we'll take few examples. Okay, we'll take few examples. Right, we'll take an example which we already know. Right? Okay, for an example, let's say for debtors and creditors. For debtors and creditors, business organizations are maintaining what? For debtors and creditors, business organizations are maintaining what? Okay, before we come to the AG, for debtors and creditors, business organizations are maintaining what? We are maintaining a control account. In the GL, we are maintaining a control account, which is referred as debtors control account and creditors control account. Clear? Right. So what is the ultimate objective of maintaining a debtors control account? What is the ultimate objective of maintaining a creditors control account? මේ control account එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? Debtors control account and creditors control account lying at where? කොතනද තියෙන්නේ? මේ control account එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? In the general ledger. In the general ledger. Okay, so why business organizations are maintaining a control account at the general ledger? Apart from the general ledger, in your accounting system, you will be having another ledger as well. What is that ledger? What is that ledger? Which is referred as what? Private ledger. Agreed? Private ledger will be further segregated into what? Debtors ledger plus creditors ledger. Clear? So in the GL, general ledger, you will be having the debtors control account, whereas in the private ledger, you are having the debtors ledger plus the creditors ledger. Debtors ledger consists of what? Debtors ledger consists of what? Individual debtor balances. Debtors ledger consists of what? Individual debtor balances. Creditors ledger consists of what? Individual creditor balances. Okay, so what is the control there? So the aggregation of individual debtor balances which prevails in the general, aggregation of the cumulative value of individual debtor balances which prevails in the debtors ledger has to be tallied with what? Has to be tallied with the debtors control account. නායකත ledger එකේ තියෙන එක එක නායකයන්ගේ ගිණුම් වල එකතුව පොදු ledger එකේ තියෙන මොකද්ද? පාලන ගිණුමත් එක්ක සමාන වෙන්න ඕනේ. It has to be tallied. If it is not tallying, that means something somewhere went wrong. Agreed. Same principle applies for creditors as well. Creditors ledger, they will be having the individual creditor accounts. So the aggregation of all the individual creditors balances has to be tallied with what? Has to be tallied with the creditors control account, which prevails in where? In the general ledger. If the balances are not in agreement, it means that something somewhere went wrong. That means your accounts are wrong. Agreed? Yes or no? So if you are using a sophisticated accounting system like SAP, or if you are using a sophisticated accounting system like Oracle, sometimes the accounting systems are not allowing to close the period once you finalize the management accounts if those balances are not tallying. Agreed? So if you are using a sophisticated accounting system like SAP or sophisticated accounting system like Oracle, our system is not allowing the responsible people to close the period if those balances are not tallying. Agree? සමහර system දිනා මේ balances tally වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් period එක close කරලා ඊළඟ මාසෙට යන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ. Clear? Okay, so what is the end objective of implementing that control within the system? What is the end objective of implementing this control within the system? While this control, you are ensuring the reliability of the data balance. Yes or no? While implementing this control, you are ensuring the reliability of the creditors balance. Clear? So this will be the internal control, and the end objective of implementing this internal control is what? Increasing the reliability of the financial reporting process. Clear? Yes or no? Yes, we'll take another example. මේ ඔක්කොම අපි දන්න දේවල්. Right. Okay. For bank balances, what is the most important control which prevails in a business organization? Bank reconciliations. Bank reconciliation. So bank reconciliation is considered as one of the most important internal controls with regard to the bank balances. Agreed? What is the end objective of preparing a bank reconciliation? What is the end objective of you preparing a bank reconciliation? Why we are preparing a bank reconciliations? Okay, how can you ensure that there are no manipulations? What is the end objective of business organization implementing a bank rec? Reconcile the differences. So what do you mean by reconciling the differences? Is it means that if there are no differences, you should not prepare a bank rec? Why we are preparing a bank rec? Sorry? Okay, that is part and partial. So my question is why we are preparing a bank rec? ඇයි අපි bank reconciliation එකක් හදන්නේ? Sorry? To tally the system balance and the statement balance. Okay. But it's not tallying. You are reconciling what? You are reconciling the GL with your bank statement. You are reconciling the GL with your bank statement. So most of the people are telling that we will be preparing the bank reconciliations when there is a difference between what? ගොඩක් කට්ටිය කියන bank rec එකක් හදන්නේ මොන අවස්ථාවේද? When we are preparing a bank reconciliation, when your GL balance is different from your bank statement balance. Is it true? Is it true? No, it's not true. It's wrong. Even though the balances are tallying, still you need to reconcile those balances. Agreed. Balances might get tally with contradicted transactions, contra transactions. Clear? අපේ LL පන්ති දුගන්නනවානේ අපි බැංකු රෙක්කයක් හදන්න මුදල් පොතේ බැංකු තුරේ ශේෂය බැංකු ප්‍රකාශයේ මොනවා වෙනකොටද අසමාන වෙනකොට ඒක වැරදි. Whether it is telling or not, you need to prepare a bank reconciliations. That means you are reconciling your GL with your bank statement. Agree. Sometimes the balance may tally, but balance might tally with different transactions. It are basically eliminating each other. Agreed. For an example, if you take, let's say, you pay the electricity bill. Okay, you pay the electricity bill for the month of August, which is amounted to 100,000. Okay, you pay the electricity, you issue a check to make the payment for electricity bill, which is basically amounted to 100,000. Let's say you issue the check on 31st. Let's say you issue the check on 31st. Agreed? So that check will go to the bank either on 1st or 2nd. Clear? Either 1st or 2nd. Right. So let's say you have given a clear instruction to the bank to process a standing order on 31st. You have given a clear instruction to the bank to process a standing order on 31st. Let's say your business organization is in a rented building. Your business organization is a rented building. Your monthly rent is 100,000. So you have given a standing order to the bank saying that every month 31st, you need to make this payment on behalf of me. So the bank will process the 100,000 standing order. Agreed? My question is, as a result of those two transactions, will the balances are getting tallied with the bank statement and with the GL? Yes or no? Yes, it is getting tallied. GL එකත් credit එකක් තියෙනවා 100,000, bank statement එකත් credit එකක් තියෙනවා මොකද්ද? 100,000. So your balances will get tallied, but that is wrong. Those are two different transactions. Agreed? Yes or no? Yes. Let's take another example. So let's say you got a check from a customer called Kamal. You got a check from a customer called Kamal on 31st. Order check එකක් කමුණා customer කෙනෙක්ගෙන් Kamalගෙන් 31st amount to 500,000. Clear? You send the check on the same day. You receive the check at 12 o'clock. You send the check to the bank at 2:30. So most probably that check will be getting realized on when? Either 1st or 2nd. Check එක දාපු ගමන් realize වෙන්නේ. So the check will be realized on either 1st or 2nd. So now you are having a debit balance in your bank account. In your GL, you are having a debit balance of 500,000. Clear? Let's say on the same day, same time, let's say another debtor deposited 500,000 to your account, which is considered as a direct deposit. Same day, another debtor deposited another 500,000 to your bank account. Will there is a difference between your bank statement and the cash book now? No. It will get tally, but it's wrong. Those are two different transactions. Clear? So therefore, you are preparing a bank reconciliations in order to do what? In order to reconcile your GL with the bank statement. Clear? Will that increase the reliability of the financial reporting? Will that increase the reliability of financial reporting? Yes or no? Yes. So the main objective of implementing internal control is what? Is to increase the reliability of the financial reporting. Are we clear on that? Yes or no? Yes. Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Let me come to the second objective. Let me come to the second objective. So let me come to the second objective. What is the second objective of implementing an internal control? What is the second objective of implementing internal control? Increasing the efficiency and the effectiveness of business operations. Business operations. Clear? Increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of what? Business operations. Right. How we are going to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the business operations? Through internal controls. How we are going to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the business operations through internal controls. Okay, let me take another two classic examples. Okay, let's say we will be discussing all these at the later stage. Let's say in your stores, why what's happened? මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? ස්ටේප්ලර් කරන්න කියන්නේ. No, can handle. ඔක ස්ටේප්ලර් ගන්න ඕන. පුළුවන්. මෙහෙම. ස්ටේප්ලර් මෙහෙම ගන්න. Every problem will have a solution. Got it? හරි මෙහෙම ගන්න කියන්නේ. Right, coming back to this. Right, now concentrate. Right, okay. So let's say in your stores, concentrate. Let's say in your stores, you are maintaining a chart like this. In your stores, you are maintaining a chart like this for each and every item. Let's say for each and every material item. Clear? Right, here you will be having the units. Here you will be having the units. Here you are having the time. Units ටික දෙනවා, time ටික දෙනවා. Clear? You will be having the units and you are having the time. Clear? Right. So you are maintaining a stock level called what? MSL. What do you mean by MSL? Maximum stock level. Maximum stock level. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේකට උපරිම තොග මට්ටම කියලා කියන්නේ. You are maintaining a maximum stock level. Clear? On the same note, you are maintaining what? Another MSL. What is that? Minimum stock level. Minimum stock level. Maximum stock level is there, minimum stock level is there. Clear? If you are maintaining any stock which is go beyond your maximum stock, will it create an advantage or a disadvantage to the business organization? If you are maintaining a stock which is go beyond your maximum stock level, will it create advantage or disadvantage to the business organization? It's a disadvantage. As a result of that, there is a particular cost that will get increased. What is that cost? Your holding cost getting increased. Your holding cost getting increased. අපි කියන තොග රඳවා ගැනීමේ පිරිවැය කියලා. ඒක වැඩි වෙනවා. Clear? If you are maintaining any stock which goes beyond the minimum stock level, there is another cost which is going to escalate. What is that? Ordering cost. Ordering cost. Agree? So you need to manage both. Right. So let's say this is units, these are times. So let's say 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, let's say this is 500. So your maximum stock level is how much? 500,000. Your minimum stock level is how much? 100. In between these two, you are maintaining another stock level. Let's say 250. This is referred as what? This is referred as ROL. Stands for reorder level. අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ යලි යන මට්ටම කියලා. Agreed. In between maximum stock level and minimum stock level, you are maintaining what? Reorder level. Got it? So when the time, time, let's say April, May up to March. Okay, when you have a 0 time, you are reaching to the maximum stock level here. You are reaching to the maximum stock level. When the time passes by, you will be using the stock. Agree? You will be using the stock. So now the stock level is getting reduced. Clear? Now the stock level is getting reduced. So once the stock level comes to this point, once the stock level comes to this point, this is the point where the stores has to raise what? Once the stock reaches to this point, this is the point where the stores has to raise what? Document. That is basically referred as PR. Purchase requisition, not the PO. PO එක store වලින් දාන්නේ. PO එක දාන්නේ procurement එකේ. For them to raise the PO, store should raise what? PR. If not, which is referred as MRN, material requisition note. මේ දෙකෙන්ම කියවෙන එකම දේ. Material requisition note. So who should have the responsibility to raise the PR? The storekeeper. Storekeeper should raise the PR when the stock comes to which level? Reorder level. Agreed. Then once the same PR sends to the purchasing department, based on this PR, they will be raising what? PO. PO එක order කරපු බාණ්ඩ දෙක order කරපු ගමන් හම්බ වෙනවද? No. You will be having a limited, you will be having a considerable time to receive the new stock. Until you receive that, you are using what? The existing stock. Agreed. Clear? Now when the stock received, now you are going back to the maximum stock level. Agreed. Again, the stock will get reduced. This is the point where you raise as the PR. Until the new goods received, you are using the stock. And once you receive the stock, which goes to the maximum level. Agreed. Clear? What is the importance of this control? What is the importance of this control? Through this control, you can eliminate the stock shortage situations. Agreed. You exactly know when to raise the PR. Through this control, you can eliminate the stock shortage situations. Clear? Through this control, you can minimize the holding cost as well as what? Ordering cost. will that increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the business operations? Will that increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the business operations? Yes or no? Yes. So the second objective of internal controls is to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of what? Business operations. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Got it? No. මේ chart එකේ වැළුවම පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවද? මම එන්ද chart එකේ. මම එන්ද chart එකේ මොකක්ද අවුලක් තියෙනවද ඕලන්නේ පේනවද එහෙම අවුලක්? Anyone who are practically working? Especially internal auditors? මේ අන්න ඒක තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. මෙතනින් පල්ලෙහාටත් යනවාද? What do you think? මෙතනින් පල්ලෙහාට යනවාද? ඒතකොට costing ඉගෙන ගත්තා නම් මෙතනින් නවත්තන්නද බොහෝ දුරට? එයි මම මේක පල්ලෙහාට දැම්මේ. Theoretically, which stops at this point, yes, but it will go down. Why? The stock which prevails below the minimum stock level also use into the operations. Yes or no? Once the new order comes, you are basically refilling the minimum stock level. ඒකෙන් කියවෙන්නේ නැහැ minimum stock level එක use කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලාම කියවෙන්නේ. You are using the minimum stock level. So once a new order comes, you are basically refilling the minimum stock level. Agreed? Yes or no? මේ ඒරියාට මොකද කියන්නේ? මේ gap එකට මොකද කියන්නේ? Sorry? Technical word මොකද ඒකට කියන්නේ? Come on. This is an auditing class, not costing class. What is this gap? Kanchana ගෙන් අහලා බලන්න. මොකද්ද කියලා. Are we clear on this? Kanchana හිතෙනවනේ costing miss. ආයෙ අහලා බලන්න මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ කියලා. Clear? Right. So are we clear on this? තේරුණාද? Right. So we'll go to another example. දැන් ඔක තමයි ජීවන්ත සත් එක්ක කරන්න බැරි නේ හැමතිස්සෙම මොකක් කරේ කියුරියසිටි එකක් ඉතුරු කරලා පාඩමක් නවත්තදී. මගේ ඒරියා එක නෙමෙයිනේ පුතා. If you're asking anything related to audit, I'll explain. This is not auditing, this is costing. Right, we'll take another example. Right, online people, are we clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right, we'll take another example. So let's say you're establishing a credit policy. You're establishing a credit policy to the business organization while having two parameters. Number one, you're establishing proper credit limits to your debtors, plus you're allocating a time period. Okay, for an example, let's say the organization which I am working at, which is at the leisure industry. So we do have three categories of debtors, four categories of debtors. Category A, category B, customers are classified under four categories. Category A, category B, and category C and category D. Clear? Category A are the customers who are providing a high number of volume for us. High number of volume for us. So those are considered as category A customers where they have not defaulted the payments. Clear? So those are categorized under category A. For them, we will be giving a much higher credit limit. We are giving them a much higher credit limit. Clear? Category B are considered as a middle level customers who are giving not the same volume as A but a lesser volume than A. But they also not defaulted the payments. So those are considered as category B. So we will be allowing a particular credit limit for them as well. Clear? Category C are the customers where we are getting a lesser business volume from them. And if they have not defaulted any payments, we will be allowing a credit limit for them as well. Clear? Category D are the customers who defaulted their payments, so we are not giving any credit limit for them. මේගොල්ලන්ට credit දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ upfront ගෙස්ලා එවන්න කලින් payments කරන්න ඕන. Clear? So rather than giving a flat rate, clear, rather than giving a flat rate, we are categorizing the debtors into four categories depending on the volume and the credibility of that debtor, and we are allowing them a respective credit limit. Clear? And we will be providing a particular credit period as well. Ceiling එක දෙපැත්තම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. You need to have the upper ceiling and the lower ceiling as well. දැන් හිතන්නකො මෙයාට දෙනවා 15, let's say we are giving 150 million credit limit for them. 150 million credit limit එකක් දෙනවා. And we are paying a period of 12 months. Is that practical? No. Agreed. 150 million credit limit එකක් දෙලා කරන මාස 12ක් ඇතුළත පියවන්න. Is it practical? No. So the standard credit limit which we have given is how much? 2 months. Sorry, 3 months. අපි debtors මාස 3ක credit period එකක් දෙනවා. In average. Clear? And under me, I do have a particular credit controller because credit controlling function directly comes under me. Under me, there is a separate credit controller who will be responsible for the debtors collection. Who will be responsible for the debtors collection. We are having the weekly meetings for debtors collection, so that I will be reviewing the debtors age. Every Tuesday, starting from 4 o'clock, ending from 5:30, we are having the debtors meeting. Clear? Where I am heading the debtors meeting. So I will be going individual hotels, individual debtor balances. So I will be questioning the credit controller, why you have not collected this money? Why you have not collected this money? Clear? So we will be having the internal meetings on weekly basis, and month end, I'm having a discussion with the sector CEO to give an update to him as well. Clear? With that control, I will be minimizing the risk of having working capital issues. Yes or no? While having that control, I will be minimizing the risk of having what? Working capital issues. Will it create a positive impact to the business operations? Will it create a positive impact to the business operations? Yes. So the second objective of having internal control is what? To increase the efficiency and effectiveness of what? Business operations. Clear? Got it? Right. So are we clear on the first 2 points? Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's go to the final objective. Final objective. Final objective of having internal control is what? compliance with laws and regulations. So the final objective of having internal control is what? Having compliance with laws and regulations. For an example, let's say you are implementing proper checklist within the finance team. You are implementing a proper checklist within the finance team, highlighting the payment deadlines. Highlighting the payment deadlines. For an example, there is a specific date that we need to make what? VAT payments. There is a specific date that we need to pay what? Income tax payments. There is a specific date, due date, we need to pay what? EPF, ETF. Clear? So likewise, you are providing a checklist. Agreed? Okay, when you look at from the operational perspective, let's say most of the business organizations are having this. An employee can obtain 2 short leaves for a month, maximum 2 short leaves. If you are going more than 2 short leaves, it will be resulted the no pay deduction. Yes or no? Yes. For a particular year, there has to be a maximum amount of leaves and an employee can take. If you go beyond that, the company will charge what? No pay. So these are considered as what? Internal controls established with the objective of making compliance with laws and regulations. Clear? Right. So remember, when you look at from the broader perspective, there are 3 objectives. There are 3 objectives of having internal control. So what are the 3 objectives? Number 1, increase in the reliability of the financial reporting. Number 2, increase in the efficiency and effectiveness of the business operations. Number 3, compliance with laws and regulations. So these are the main objectives of business organization having internal controls. Clear? Got it? Okay, then what do you mean by internal controls? What is the definition of internal controls? What is the definition of internal controls? මොකක්ද internal control වල තියෙන definition එක? Internal control means any procedure, process, activity, program introduced by business organization with the objective of reaching to those objectives referred as what? Internal controls. Any procedure, process, activity, program introduced by business organization with the objective of reaching to the above mentioned objectives are referred as what? Internal controls. Internal controls. So if someone is asking you what is the definition of internal controls, so what is the answer that you need to give? Internal controls can be defined as any procedure, process, activity, program which is introduced by the business organization with the objective of increasing the reliability of the financial reporting, increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of the operations, and compliance with what? Laws and regulations are referred as what? Internal controls. මෙන්න මේ අරමුණු තුන මුදුන් පමුණුවා ගැනීම සඳහා ව්‍යාපාර ආයතනය තුළ ස්ථාපිත කරපු ක්‍රියාපිළිවෙතක්, වැඩපිළිවෙලක්, ක්‍රියාවලියක්, ඇක්ටිවිටි එකක් අපි කතා කරනවා මොනවා කියලාද? Internal control systems කියලා. Clear? Okay. Who will be responsible for this? To have proper internal controls? Management. Board of directors, management, the parties responsible for good governance, will be responsible to have proper internal control system within the business organization. Clear? Terunada. Okay, are we clear up to this point? Got it? Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions up to this point? Any questions up to this point? Right, so we'll go to the presentation. Screen ek taraf dar. Right, okay. Let me summarize in this way. What do you mean by internal controls? What do you mean by internal controls? Okay, now focus. Internal control is broadly defined as a process effected by entities' board of directors, management, and other personnel are designed to provide a reasonable assurance regarding the achievement of the objectives relating to efficiency and effectiveness of operations. Have we discussed that? Yes or no? Yes. Financial reporting. Have we discussed that? Yes. And compliance with applicable laws and regulations. Have we discussed that? Yes. So that is what you referred as what? Internal control. So internal controls broadly defined as a process effected by the entity's board of directors, management or other personnel designed to provide a reasonable assurance regarding the achievement of the objectives relating to effectiveness and efficiency of operations, financial reporting and compliance with applicable laws and regulations are referred as what? Internal controls. Clear? Right. Another definition, a process designed, implemented and maintained by those charged with governance, management or other personnel to provide a reasonable assurance about the achievement of an entity's objectives with regard to reliability of financial reporting, effectiveness, efficiency of operations and compliance with applicable laws and regulations are referred as what? Internal controls. Clear? Right. Okay, key elements. This can be defined as a process implemented by whom? Board of directors or management. Providing a reasonable assurance with regard to the achievement of particular objectives. So what are the objectives? Increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of operations, increasing the reliability of the financial reporting, plus compliance with laws and regulations. Clear? Right. Okay, if you want, you can take a picture of this. Our channel picture I got. Right. Okay, objectives of internal control. So how many objectives are there? Number one, increasing the reliability of financial reporting. Increasing the reliability of financial reporting. Number two, efficiency and effectiveness of operations. Number three, compliance with what? Laws and regulations. Right. Okay, we'll go one by one. Increasing the reliability of financial reporting. Reliability of the financial information and financial statement is one of the key aspects which all the intended users, who are the intended users? Then me vachana taggal uluwata enno. Who are the intended users? Stakeholders. Agreed? Stakeholders. Why stakeholders are using those informations? In order to make what? Economic decisions. stakeholders are using those financial statements, financial information to take what? Economic decisions. So therefore, above requires the business organization to have sound internal control system within the business organization in order to maintain what? Reliability of the financial information which they are presenting to the stakeholders. Agreed? Clear? So most of the time, stakeholders are using financial statements and financial informations to take various types of economic decisions. So reliability of the information is one of the critical aspects which most of the stakeholders are focusing on. Agree? So if I am a stakeholder, I will be mainly focusing on the reliability of the financial information. Clear? The credibility of the financial information for me to get the economic decisions. In that context, if the management wanted to have more reliability on the financial information, they should, if not, they must implement a proper internal control system within the business organization. Clear? Got it? Right. Number two. Efficiency and effectiveness of operations. Internal controls are implemented within the business organization also meant to encourage efficient and effective use of what? Limited resources. Efficient and effective use of what? Limited resources, including personnel, to optimize the goals of the business organization. An important part of this control is accurate information for internal decision making. So the second objective of having proper internal control is what? Is to increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the operations. Clear? Got it? Number three, compliance with laws and regulations. So there are many laws and regulations that the organizations are required to follow, which are directly or indirectly related to various aspects of the business operations. So there are so many laws and regulations, internal and external. Both will have direct impact and indirect impact as well. Compliance with those laws and regulations are critical for the business functions of the organization, and non-compliance of certain laws and regulations may have impact to what? Going concern ability of the business organization as well. Clear? So therefore, it is very much important for you to have a proper internal control system within the business organization to achieve this objective as well. Clear? Terunada? Yes or no? Yes. Got it? Right. Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Take a picture of this. And there are a few examples that we need to take down. Right. Okay. We'll go to the tute. Tute again. Sorry. Right. So we'll take an example. Under the reliability of financial reporting. Right. Example number one. Example number one. Preparation of debtors control account. Preparation of debtors control account. And creditors control account. And creditors control account. Creditors control account. To ascertain the accuracy. To ascertain the accuracy. To ascertain the accuracy of debtors ledger. Of debtors ledger. And creditors ledger. and creditors ledger. Number two, preparation of bank reconciliations. Preparation of bank reconciliations. Preparation of bank reconciliations. Preparation of bank reconciliations. While reconciling the GL, while reconciling the GL, while reconciling the GL, with the bank statement. Below here, that right. With the bank statement. Another example, example number 3. Finance manager approves the payment voucher. Finance manager approves the payment voucher. Before making a payment. Before making a payment. Before making a payment. Clear? Right. So we'll go to the second one. Effectiveness and efficiency of operations. Right. Example number 1. Example number 1. Establishing a proper credit policy. Establishing a proper credit policy. Establishing a proper credit policy. Within brackets, you can say while having proper credit limit and credit period. While having proper credit limit and credit period. While having proper credit limit and credit period. Close brackets. And regular follow-up of debtors. And regular follow-up of debtors. And regular follow-up of debtors. To minimize the working capital issues. To minimize the working capital issues. To minimize the working capital issues. Clear? Number 2. Number 2. Establishing maximum stock level. Maximum stock level. Minimum stock level. Minimum stock level. And reorder level. And reorder level. Within the store's operations. Within the store's operations. Within the store's operations. to manage the stock out situation. To manage the stock out situations. To manage the stock out situations, which will have an adverse impact. Which will have an adverse impact for business operations. For business operations. Clear? Right. Number 3, compliance with rules and regulations. Example. Implementation of proper checklist. Implementation of proper checklist in order to make sure the compliance with 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 internal and external laws and regulations. Internal and external laws and regulations. Example, another under that a separate example. Under that a separate example. Compliance with CBSL regulations. Compliance with CBSL regulations by commercial banks. By commercial banks. Example number 2. Compliance with listing rules. Compliance with listing rules. By all listed entities. By all listed entities. Clear? Right. Okay. In the TUT itself, there is a topic called summary. තියෙනවනේ summary එකක් කියන. ආයේ summary එකේ තියලා තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ chart එක ලියාගන්න. Clear? මේ chart එක ලියාගන්න තමයි summary එක තියෙන්නේ. You are a newcomer? අද yeah. Where are you working at? Freelancer. Which area? Accounts. Okay. So you are running your firm. Okay. With the opportunity comes, you are doing freelancing. Right. Got it? තේරුණාද? Okay. Are we clear up to that point? Clear? දෙරණ? ඔය ඔෆිස් එකේ තමයි මම පාන්දර 4:00 මානක හිටියේ. මේ අල්විස් රෝඩ් එකේදී. ඒකේ දින්නේ නෑ. එනෝඩි පොටි වල කරා. Clear? Image wise, yes. Yeah. With Riaz. But it's part and parcel of their own, right?
No. That's fine.
Yeah. But which comes under Dilip, no? Right, clear? Got it? Any questions up to this point? ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද ප්‍රශ්න? All clear? Right, okay. Coming back to another area. Right, we will be discussing the entire introduction by way of a short note. Okay. For you to have proper internal control, within the business organization, What are the important characteristics that you need to have? For you to have proper internal controls within your business organization, what are the important characteristics that you need to have? මොනවද තියෙනවනේ important characteristics? Tutor බලන්න අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා කතා කළෙමු. So what are the important characteristics that you need to have for you to have better internal control system, which are considered as elements, of internal controls. Elements of internal control systems. අභ්‍යන්තර පාලන පද්ධතියක තියෙන මූලිකාංග. Clear? Okay, what are the elements that you need to have? First one is control environment. First one is what? Control environment. Clear? Right. What do you mean by control environment? What do you mean by control environment? මොකද control environment එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ? For you to have proper internal control system within the business organization to achieve these objectives, you need to have proper control environment. So this is basically referred as objectives. මේ flow chart එක ලස්සනට එනවා දැන්. Objectives. Here you have the definition. Okay. Then for you to have that definition, here you have the elements. ඒක මම හිතුවට ලස්සනට එනවා flow chart එක. Clear? බබා මැද අම්මයි තාත්තයි දෙපැත්තේ. ඒ වගේ. Clear? Okay. What do you mean by control environment? What do you mean by control environment? For you to have better internal control system, one of the prerequisite is what? Control environment. Okay, so what do you mean by control environment? What do you mean by control environment? What do you mean by control environment? EY? මේවා චෙක් කරනවානේ ડોකියුමන්ට්ස් ෆිල් කර කර ඔඩිට් කරන්න ගියාම ඈ පුදුම වදයන්නේ ක්ලයන්ට් දෙන්නේ මේ ડોකියුමන්ට් ෆිල් කර කර දීපන් කිය. Sorry? Not the controls imposed by the management. What do you mean by control environment? නිදිමරයි පොඩි නිදිමරක් තියෙනවා වගේනේ. Sure. සත්තයි. එහෙනම්. Oh yeah. So what do you mean by control environment? Yes. So control environment is basically the understanding that the management is having with regard to the internal controls and the importance of these internal controls to achieve these objectives. So that is what you referred as what? Control environment. Clear? Control environment in simple language, control environment is the understanding that the management is having with regard to the internal controls. The importance of internal controls and the importance of the internal controls to achieve the objectives. මෙන්න මේ කාරණා දෙක පිළිබඳව මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකට තියෙන අවබෝධය තමයි කතා කරන්නේ මොකක් කියලාද? control environment එකක් කියලා. In simple language, that is attitudes towards the risk. In simple language, that is attitude towards the risk. Clear? So in simple language, what do you mean by control environment? It is the overall understanding. It is the overall understanding that the management is having with regard to internal control systems and the importance of internal controls to reach to the objectives. Clear? So that is what you referred as what? Control environment. In simple language, what do you mean by control environment? It is understanding that the management is having with regard to the importance of the internal controls and the importance of those internal controls to achieve the related objectives as well. Clear? Got it? In simple language, again this is referred as attitudes towards risk. Attitude towards risk. Okay, I'll take two examples. Clear? Right. Number 2 is referred as what? Control activities. Control activities. Control activities. Okay, what do you mean by control activities? Control activities are the activities implemented by management to achieve the objectives of control environment. Mudara තේරුම් ගන්න එක activities implemented by the management to achieve the objectives of control environment. Clear? Activities implemented by management to achieve the objectives of control environment. Clear? So we'll take two examples. But my first question is this. Who will be responsible for the control environment? Who will be responsible for the control environment? Management will be responsible. Management or board of directors will be responsible. Agreed? On the same note, who will be responsible for control activities? Again, management and board of directors. Clear? Got it? Right. So let me classify this in a classic example. Okay. What is the main objective of you coming to this class? What is the main objective of you coming to this class? To pass the exam. To pass the exam. You may be having some ancillary objectives, but main objective is what? To pass the exam. Clear? Class එකේ ප්‍රධාන පරමාර්ථය මොකද්ද? Exam එක pass and that is the main objective. So you may be having some ancillary objectives as well. That's okay. Clear? So when for classes we do have what? Main objective plus ancillary objectives. අපි class එක ගාලා මොනවද? Main objective එකක් තිබුණා, ancillary objectives තිබුණා. Clear? දැන් නැත්නම් A level commerce කරපු එකේ physics පන්තියකට යන්න ඕනේ නැහැනේ. A level කරන කාලේ. I went for a physics class for a period of how many months? 6 months. But I did A levels commerce. A level commerce කරන එකට physics තියෙනවද? භෞතික විද්‍යාව? තියෙනවද? නැහැ. Sure නේ? හවුද නැද්ද? ඔව්. එතන A level කරන එකට මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Accounting, econ, business studies or statistics. ඔය හතරම තියෙන්නේ. physics නෑනේ accounting කරන එකට. commerce කරන එකට. Physics තියෙන්නේ either you need to do maths or science. But මම මාසයක් ගියා physics පන්තියකට. Main objective is not to pass physics. ancillary objective. පස්සේ දෙන මේ පන්තිට යන එක වැඩක් නැහැ කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක නැවතුණා. Clear? Alright. So likewise ඒ වයසේදී කරන්න ඕන දේවල් කරන්න ඕන. Right. So main objective is to do what? Pass the exam. If you want to pass the exam, what are the things that you need to do? මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? අද මට කලින් කොහමරි ආව නේද කියපු නිසා. What are the things that you need to do? You need to attend to the class. Attending the class. Right. Then weekly study. Then doing past papers. Then preparing short notes. Likewise, there are a few activities that you need to do for you to pass the exam. Clear? You need to attend to the class at regular intervals. You need to study on weekly basis. You need to do past papers, preparing short notes, discussions with your friends with regard to theoretical aspects. So these are the things that you need to do. While doing all this, you should be able to pass the exam. Agreed. But overall, what is the most important thing? What is the most important thing? What is the most important thing? For you to pass the exam, what is the most important thing? What is the most important thing? Attitude to pass the exam is the important thing. If you do have that attitude only, you will be implementing all this. If you do have that attitude only, you will be implementing all these things. If you do have the attitude of passing the exams, you will be attending the classes. If you do have the attitude of passing the exam, you will be doing weekly study. Clear? If you do have the attitude to pass the exam, you will be doing what? Past papers, preparing short notes, and having discussions with regard to your friends, with regard to theoretical aspects. You will be doing all these things once you have what? Proper attitude for you to pass the exam. This attitude is referred as what? Control environment. මේ attitude එක තමයි කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා අපි control environment එකක් කියන්නේ. The activities which you are implementing to achieve the objectives of control environment is referred as what? Control activities. තේරුණාද? Clear? Got it? මේක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. මේක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. Clear? Okay, out of those two, then what should be the most important thing? Control environment or control activities? Control environment is a must. If you do that control environment only, you will be focusing on what? Control activities. Clear? Terunada. Right. Control activities. Online people, are we clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Right. Control activities are mainly segregated. Control activities are mainly segregated into 8 activities. Clear? Control activities are mainly segregated into 8 activities. Clear? Those 8 activities are in simple language referred as what? Spam soap. වැඩක් නැති සබන්. Clear? Those activities are in simple language referred as what? Spam soap. වැඩක් නැති සබන්. Spam කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? වැඩක් නැහැ කියන එකනේ. Spam email එකක් කියන වැඩක් නැහැ. Soap කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? සබන්. Clear? So there are ways of means of you understanding the theory. තේරුණාද? Got it? මට මේක කියලා දෙන හැම වාරයක් පාසා මට මතක් වෙන්නේ කවුද? මට 4 වසරේ පන්ති බාර මිස්. මම කිව්වද ස්ටෝරි එක නේ? 4 වසරේ පන්ති බාර මිස් සෝමලතා මිස්. ළඟදී නැති වුණා කැන්සර් එකේ. ළඟදී නම් අවුරුදු ගාණක් වෙනවා. හරිද? මට තාමත් මගේ grade 1 ටීචර් ඉඳන් grade 13 ටීචර් මට මතකයි. පෙරේරා මිස් ගින්දා දාරත්න සර් වෙනවා. මතකද? grade 1 to 11 ටීචර්ස්ලා. මතකද? හිටපු කට්ටිය. මේ හෙටක යූ දේ අද මතක නැහැ කොහෙද අවුරුදු 11 විතර මතක නේද? You need to understand all this, right? Okay, මට තාම මතකයි සෝමලතා මැඩම්. I was at grade 4. I was very weak in grammar. සිංහල ව්‍යාකරණ තේරෙන්නේම නැහැ පුතා. හැමදාම ලකුණු එක්සෑම් එකට අඩුයි. හරි තාම මතකයි සිද්ධි. සෝමලතා මිස් කතා කරා මට. ජීවන්ත එන්න. වාරි ව්‍යාකරණ අමාරුයි නේ. මං කිව්වා මට අමාරුයි තේරෙන්නෙම නැහැ. අම්මන් පුතාට ලස්සන කවියක් කියලා දෙනන් ඒක මතක තියාගන්න. I learned this කවිය when I was at grade 4. That means it's in 1993. 93 89 මං ඉස්කෝලේ ගියේ. Yes 93. Now this කවිය almost 22 years old. හරි මට තාමත් ඒ කවිය මතකයි මොකද්ද? මම කිව්වොත් මී කියන්න. අපි කිව්වොත් මූ කියන්න. තෙපි කිව්වොත් හී කියන්න. තොපි නුඹලා හූ කියන්න. මම කිව්වොත් මී කියන්න. මොකද එකෙන් කියන්නේ? මම වලින් පටන් ගත්තොත් ඉවර වෙන්නේ ආමි යන්නේ. මම ගමනක් යමි. අපි කිව්වොත් මූ කියන්න. අපි ගමනක් යමු. නැත්නම් යන්නෙමු. තෙපි කිව්වොත් හී කියන්න. තොපි නුඹලා හූ කියන්න. හරිද? So those are still memorizing in my mind. So likewise, you need to have ways of recognizing all this stuff. So this is referred as spam soap. Okay. So what do you mean by spam soap? S P A M S O A P. Spam soap. What is this spam soap is all about? What is this spam soap is all about? S stands for what? Segregation of duties. S stands for segregation of duties. Clear? P stands for what? Physical controls. Clear? A stands for what? Authorization and approval. M stands for what? Management controls. S stands for what? Supervision. O stands for organizational controls. A stands for arithmetical and accounting controls. P stands for personal controls. This is how the spam soap developed. S stands for segregation of duties. P stands for physical controls. A stands for authorization and approval. M stands for management. S stands for supervision. O stands for organizational controls. A stands for arithmetical and accounting controls. Plus P stands for what? Personal controls. Clear? So whatever the internal controls which we are discussing will be fallen into these categories. අපි කතා කරන හැම අභ්‍යන්තර පාලනයම වැටෙන්නේ මොනවද? මෙන්න මේ categories වලට. Right. We'll take few examples. Right. Go to the reliability of the financial reporting in the tute itself. I gave you three internal controls. I gave you three internal controls. What is the first one? What is the first one? Preparation of debtors control account and creditors control account. Out of this, which category? Out of this, which category? Which category? Ask the question, why we are preparing the debtors control account? In order to check the accuracy of the debtors ledger. Clear? In the summation of individual debtor balances which prevails in the debtors ledger has to be tallied with the control account balance which prevails in the general ledger. So what is a control? It's an accounting and arithmetical control. Clear? Yes or no? Right. Second one. Preparation of bank reconciliation for each and every bank account. Again what? Arithmetical and accounting control. Clear? Number 3. Finance manager approves the payment voucher before cashier releases cash. Authorization and approval. Are we clear? Yes or no? Okay, I'll give you another example. At regular intervals, the finance manager doing spot checks with regard to inventory. Finance manager is doing spot checks with regard to cash in order to make sure that your physical stock is in line with the stock records. In order to ensure that your physical cash is in line with cash book balance. Which control? Physical controls. Agreed? Clear? There are 3 categories of people to approve checks. Category A, category B and category C. And there are limits for them as well.
Segregation.
There are 3 categories, category A, category B and category C. Category A fallen into board of directors. They are having a limit, unlimited amount. Category B comes to the accountant and the finance manager. So the maximum limit that they can go is up to 500,000. Category C is the assistant accountant and the assistant manager. The maximum limit is how much? 200,000. So let's take this example. So there are 3 categories to approve checks, A, B and C. A fallen into board of directors. They are having unlimited. Category B, finance manager and the accountant. Limit is up to 500,000. Category C, assistant manager and assistant accountant, up to a maximum of 200,000. Okay. 2 C's cannot sign together. So then what are the appropriate combinations? AA, AB, BB, BC and AC. Clear? See then good back. Clear? So the appropriate combination would be AA, AB, AC, BB, sorry, BA, BA, BB and BC. Clear? Okay, so let's say we are issuing a check which is amounted to 180,000. Who can sign? We are issuing a check to a supplier amounted to 180,000. Who can sign? All parties can sign. Agreed? Yes or no? Yes. We are issuing a check to a supplier amounts to 210,000. Who is getting eliminated? Other categories can sign. Clear? We are issuing a check to a supplier amounted to 600,000. Clear? What is this control? Authorization and approval and segregation of duties both. Clear? Terunada. Right, go to the example. Second one. Efficiency and effectiveness of operations. There are two internal controls. What is number one? Huh? Establishing proper credit policy within the business organization. Organizational control, management control, supervision, and you can take as arithmetical and accounting as well. Yes or no? Yes. What is the other one? Establishing maximum stock level, minimum stock level, and reorder level to have a better utilization of stocks. Which category? Organizational control, supervision, management, arithmetical and accounting as well. Clear? So likewise, whatever the controls which we are going to discuss in future will be fallen into these categories. This is what you referred as what control activities. For you to have better control activities, what should be the prerequisite? You need to have proper control environment. Terunada? Yes or no? Yes. Right. Okay, are we clear up to this point? Method clear the online paper, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Third one. What is the third one? Tutor diha balane pa. Risk assessment. Third one is what? Risk assessment. When you look at from the risk assessment purview, we are having a detailed example to discuss that. When we have in the risk assessment purview, risk assessment mainly segregated into three. Risk assessment mainly segregated into three. Number one, risk identification. Risk identification. That is number one. Number two, risk analysis. Clear? Number three, risk evaluation. Risk identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation. Clear? So risk assessment basically consists of three segments: risk identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation. Clear? So what do you mean by risk identification? What do you mean by risk identification? What do you mean by risk identification? අපි සිංහලෙන් කියන අවදානම හඳුනා ගැනීම. මුලින්ම කරන්න ඕනේ ඒකනේ. What do you mean by risk identification? Check whether it is internal risk or external risk. ඒක තමයි කියන්නේ risk identification here. Check whether it is internal risk or external risk. That is what you referred as what? Risk identification. Clear? තේරුණාද? හවුද නැද්ද? Right. Number 2. Once you identify the risk, check the way I'm putting the arrow. Once you identify the risk, what is the second option? Risk analysis. Risk analysis. Clear? What do you mean by risk analysis? No. What do you mean by risk analysis? Risk analysis includes, अभी example है मैं कथा करना है. Risk analysis includes assessing the impact and the occurrence of risk. Assessing the impact and the occurrence of the risk. That is what you referred as risk analysis. Clear? Then number 3. Number 3. After second one, you go to the third one. What is number 3? Risk evaluation. Clear? What do you mean by risk evaluation? Prioritizing the risk. Prioritizing the risk. So these are the sub-elements of what? Risk assessment. Who will be responsible for this? Management and board of directors. Clear? Having control environment won't do the job unless otherwise you have the proper control activities. Clear? Having proper control environment won't do the job unless otherwise you have what? Proper control activities. So arrow has to come down like this. Clear? Having control activities won't do the job unless otherwise you do what? Risk assessment. ඒක හරියට කරගන්න ඕනේ. Agreed. Why risk assessment is important? Why risk assessment is important? Why risk assessment important when? Sorry? Yes, to prioritize the risk. In life as well, you will be facing so many risks simultaneously. හවුද නැද්ද? ඔව්. ලයිෆ් එකේ වුණත් එක රිස්ක් එකක් ඇවිල්ලා හොඳට ටික කාලයක් ඉන්නවා ඊට පස්සේ තව රිස්ක් එකක් එනවා. එහෙම එන්නේ නැහැ. හවුද නැද්ද? එක රිස්ක් එකක් ඇවිල්ලා ඒක හදා ගන්නවා ටිකක් අවුරුද්දක් විතර හොඳට ඉන්නවා ඉන්න තව රිස්ක් එකක් එනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක හදාගන්න තව රිස්ක් එකක්. එහෙම එන්නේ නැහැ. ප්‍රශ්න දෙනකොට මොනවද ජීවිතේට? එක දිගට පුතා ප්‍රශ්න එන්නේ. හවුද නැද්ද? එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇවිල්ලා ඒක හරි ගස්සගෙන හොඳට ඉන්නවා එහෙම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ප්‍රශ්න එනකොට එක දිගට එනවද නැද්ද? ඔව්. ක්ලියර්? උණත් ඇදලා හෙම්බිරිස්සාවත් ඇදලා කැස්සත් ඇදනවා ඊට පස්සේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? වොමිටින් උත් වෙනවා ලූස් මෝෂන් උත් වෙනවා. Agreed? So you are basically hitting 5 illness together. හවුද නැද්ද? හෙම්බිරිස්සාවයි ඔළුවේ කැක්කුමයි උණයි කැස්සයි ඊට පස්සේ ලූස් මෝෂන් උයි වොමිටින් උයි. උඩුනුයි යටනුයි දෙකෙන්ම යනවා. Now you are hitting 5 illness together. Clear? So that is what you referred as what? Risk identification. You know, identify the risk. මොකද්ද මේන risk එක? Agreed? Clear? හවුද නැද්ද? නාය ටිකක් දැවිල්ල අරගෙන එනවා දැන්. උගුරණි ගානයන් කසනවා. ඒ මොකටද දෙන්නේ? උඩින් මිරිස්සාවට. agreed. නිකන් බඩ ඇතුලේ නිකන් ගොරගොර ගන්නවා. ඒ උඩින් මිරිස්සාවටද? ඒ නෝනාටද? loose motion වලට. You need to identify the risk. Clear. Once you identify the risk, you need to be what? Analyze the risk. Why analysis is important? Why analysis is important? You need to go in detail to the risk now. Clear? In detail to the risk. What is the illness which is having more impact to me? Agreed. What is the illness which has more adverse impact on me? හෙම්බිරිස්සාව කැස්ස තියාගෙන මට වැඩට යන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි උණයි ලූස් මෝෂන් එක තියාගෙන මට වැඩට යන්න බෑ. හවුද නැද්ද? Then you need to understand කැස්සයි හෙම්බිරිස්සාවට වඩා උණයි ලූස් මෝෂන් එක ප්‍රයොරිටයිස් කරගන්න ඕන. Clear? That is why risk analysis is important. Finally, you need to evaluate the risk. Why? You need to decide to which illness I should take the medicine first. Clear? උණත් හැදලා හෙම්බිරිස්සාවත් හැදලා කැස්සත් හැදලා ලූස් මෝෂන් උත් හැදලා වොමිටින් උත් වෙනවා විටමින් C ගන්නවා. හරියයිද? නෑ මුලින් බෙහෙත් ගන්න ඕන මොකටද? ලූස් මෝෂන් වලට. හවුද නැද්ද? ඊට පස්සේ බෙහෙත් ගන්න ඕන මොනවටද? වොමිටින් වලට. ඊට පස්සේ උණට. ඊට පස්සේ කැස්ස හෙම්බිරිස්සාවට. Clear? So that is what you referred as what? Risk evaluation. Clear? Identification, analysis and evaluation. Clear? So for you to have better control, internal control system, risk assessment is a must. Clear? Okay. What is the fourth one? What is the fourth one? Fourth one is information and communication. Information and communication. Fourth element. What do you mean by information and communication? Who should decide on the internal controls? Who should decide the internal controls? Management. Who will be having the responsibility to design the internal controls? Management. But who is going to implement those controls? Even though the management decide those internal controls, who should go to implement those internal controls? Employees. Then the decided internal controls has to be properly communicated to the staff. That is what you referred as what? Information and communication. Management එක board of directors ලා control දැම්මට නෑ පල්ලෙහා ඉන්නේ උන් ඒක දන්නේ නැත්තම්. Agreed. Storekeeper does not know to raise the PR when the stock reaches to the reorder level. වැඩක් තියනවද එහෙනම්? No point. Storekeeper දන්නේ නැහැ PR එක දාන්න ඕනේ කියලා stock එක reorder level එකට ආවට පස්සේ. ඌ නිකන් ඉන්නවා. What is the purpose of you putting that control? No point. Agreed? Credit control දන්නේ නැහැ creditors debtors ලාට limit එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. What is the purpose? No purpose. Clear? Even though the management designed the internal controls, when it's come to the implementation stage, middle level people and the lower level people are the people who are going to implement. Yes or no? Then that has to be communicated properly. Agreed? That has to be communicated properly to the middle level and the lower level. That is what you referred as what? Information and communication. Clear? Decided internal controls needed to be properly communicated. So that is what you referred as what? information and communication. Who will be responsible for this? Again, whom? Board of directors and management. Clear? Right. Finally, there has to be what? Proper review and monitoring. Clear? There has to be what? Proper review and monitoring. Checking the reliability of internal controls at regular intervals. Reliability, efficiency, effectiveness, at regular intervals. Clear? Who should be responsible for this? Again, board of directors and management. Clear? Got it? So those are referred as what? Elements of internal controls. Clear? For you to have proper internal controls, if you want to achieve these objectives, you need to have proper elements of internal control. So how many proper elements are there? 5. What are those 5? Control environment, control activities, risk assessment, information and communication, plus review and monitoring. So if you want to have proper internal control system within the business organization, which is very much important for you to have all these elements together. Related to each other. Clear? It is very much important for you to have all these elements related to each other for you to achieve these objectives. Clear? Terunada. Got it? Right. Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Before we take the break, we'll go to this slide. Elements of internal controls. First one is what? Control environment. Clear? හරි බලන්න presentation එකේ තියෙන එක තේරෙනවද කියලා? Clear? Got it? Third one, risk assessment. Clear? Got it? All the 5 elements has to be there. Clear? Right. If you want, you can take a picture of this. Online people, are we clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. තව ඉවර නෑ. මේ තව යට කෑල්ලක් තියෙනවා. ඒකටත් එනවා තව පොඩි කෑල්ල. Clear? Got it? Right. Okay, guys, the time is 10 minutes to 11. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back. Clear? Right.
අන්තිමට තියෙන්නේ. ගම් පාටයි නිල් පාටයි අතර තියෙනව නේද? නිලුත් නැති ධනුත් නැති යන්තම් ඉරක් වගේ.
මාටි අතේ
Right. Online people, am I audible? Online people, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Right. So there are a few notes that we need to take down. So we'll go to those notes. Page number 4, control environment. Control environment.
Sir, can't hear. No, sir.
Now,
Okay, sir.
can hear now?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. In simple language, control environment is the overall understanding. Control environment is the overall understanding that the management is having. That the management is having.
Sir, can you please repeat it from the simple language?
In simple language, the control environment. What is control environment? Is the overall understanding that the management is having. That the management is having. With regard to the internal control systems. 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 and the importance of those internal controls. And the importance of those internal controls to achieve the overall objectives. To achieve the overall objectives. To achieve the overall objectives of internal control systems. Of internal control systems. Control environment. Control environment. Control environment includes following key elements. Includes following key elements. Includes following key elements. Number one, organizational structure. Organizational structure. Organizational structure. Number two, assignment of authority and responsibility. 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 Management philosophy and operating cycle. Management philosophy and operating cycle. Management philosophy and operating cycle. Number four, active participation of management. Active participation of management. For decision making. For decision making. Number five, communication and enforcement of ethical values. Ethical values. Ethical values. Put a star mark and say, as an auditor, when assessing the control environment, comma, the auditor has to consider how management how management has responded to the findings and recommendations. How management has responded to the findings and recommendations. To the findings and recommendations of internal audit function. Of internal audit function relating to the identified deficiencies. Relating to the identified deficiencies. Relating to the identified deficiencies in internal control systems. Clear? Right. Okay, so we'll go to the second one. Control activities. Control activities. Control activities. Okay, so we'll have a chart with 3 columns. Spam soap එක ලියා ගන්න ඕනේ. So control activity, description, example. So now we are going to write down all these 8 in detail. So we'll have a chart with 3 columns: control activity, description, and example. Chart එක ගන්න. මුළු කොලේට මේ chart එක ඕනේ. දැන් අර කලින් පිටුවේ පිටු භාගයක් විතර ඉතුරු වුණා නේද? කලින් පිටු භාගයක් විතර ඉතුරු ඒක ඉතුරු කරලා දෙන්නේ මේක ලියා ගන්න. When you go to page number 4, even though I give the space for the full page, so there is a half a page space there, no? That space is there for you to take down this. Correct. Okay, now we'll go to the spam soap thing. So you have a chart, control activity, description, example. Take a full page එක මොනේ. Control activity, description, and example. Right, so we'll go to the first one. Segregation of duties. Segregation of duties. Segregation of duties. Okay, we'll go to the description. Underline the letter S. Underline the letter S. Okay. This includes assigning the work responsibilities. This includes assigning the work responsibilities. Assigning the work responsibilities for recording transactions. For recording transactions, comma, authorizing transactions, comma, maintaining custody of assets, maintaining custody of assets, and different activities of the business processes to different people, different employees, in order to minimize the risk of fraud and errors. Minimize the risk of fraud and errors. Right. Example. In the purchasing process, different departments are having different tasks and responsibilities. In the purchasing process, different departments are having different tasks and activities. Under that example, PR should be raised by stores. PR should be raised by stores. Whereas PO should be raised by purchasing department. Comma, goods to be accepted by warehouse. And payment to be processed by finance. So how many departments are there in the procurement process? 3 departments are there. Sorry, 4 departments are there. Warehouse will raise the PR, purchasing will raise the PO, goods will be accepted by warehouse, and the payment will be done by whom? Finance. නැත්නම් ඔය හතරම එක්කිනුට කරනොත් රිස්ක් එකක් තියනවද නැද්ද? ඔය හතරම එක්කිනුට කරනොත් රිස්ක් එකක් තියනවද නැද්ද? Yes, that is what you referred as a segregation of duties. Clear? I'm not going another example. I'm not giving another example. For an example, let's say the cashier prepares a payment voucher and he authorizes the payment voucher and he is taking the cash. Good control or bad control? Bad control. So therefore, the voucher has to be prepared by voucher ka දාන්න ඕන කවුද? Clerk. That has to be approved by finance manager, and the cash should be handled by who? Cashier. Clear? So when you are making a payment, there are 3 parties. There are no other. Clear? Right. So we'll go to the second one. Physical controls. Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Physical controls. Underline the letter P. This includes Prevention of unauthorized access. Prevention of unauthorized access. This includes prevention of unauthorized access. And to check the physical existence. And to check the physical existence of tangible assets. Of tangible assets. And tangible assets. Example number 1, there are two examples. Example number 1, physical verification of inventory. Physical verification of inventory. And check with stock records. And check with stock records. Number 2, using biometric controls. Using biometric controls to avoid unauthorized access. To avoid unauthorized access to certain areas of business. To certain areas of business. Right. Number 3, authorization and approval. Highlight the letter A. Authorization and approval. Highlight the letter A. This includes approval of actions. Approval of actions prior to be in process. Prior to be in process. Example number 1. Finance manager approves the payment voucher. Finance manager approves the payment voucher before cashier releases cash. Before cashier releases cash. Before cashier releases cash. Number 2, proper authorized signatories to approve checks. Proper authorized signatories to approve checks. Online people, am I audible? Am I audible? Right. Number 4, management controls. Management controls. Highlight the letter M. Management controls. Okay, this includes management performance review, management performance review, and review of KPIs. And review of KPIs. What is KPIs? Key performance indicators. KPIs. Example, comparison of actual versus budget. Comparison of actual versus budget to identify unusual variances. To identify unusual variances. To identify unusual variances. Right. Supervision, S. Supervision, S. This includes supervision slash observation of activities performed by employees. Clear? Example, bank reconciliations prepared by the accounts executive. Bank reconciliations prepared by the accounts executive. Bank reconciliations prepared by the accounts executive. Should be reviewed by the finance manager. Should be reviewed by the finance manager. Number 2, operations performed by an employee under supervision. Another example, operations performed by employees should be supervised by a supervisor. Should be supervised by a supervisor. Right. Organizational controls. Highlight the letter O. Organizational controls. Highlight the letter O. This includes controls provided by organizational structure. Controls provided by organizational structure. Such as line of reporting, comma, line of authority, to each position of the organization. To each position of the organization. Example, Having a narrowed organizational structure. Having a narrowed organizational structure. Having a narrowed organizational structure. Centralization. Or centralization. Number 7, arithmetical and accounting controls. Underline the letter A. Arithmetical and accounting control. Underline the letter A. This includes controls implemented to check. Controls implemented to check the accuracy of recording. The accuracy of recording and processing transactions. And processing transactions. Number 1, example. Preparation of debtors control account and creditors control account. Preparation of debtors control account and creditors control account. To check the accuracy of debtors and creditors ledger. To check the accuracy of debtors and creditors ledger. Number 2, preparation of bank reconciliations. Preparation of bank reconciliations. Right, final one, personal controls. Highlight the letter P. Highlight the letter P. This includes activities taken for selection. Activities taken for selection. Training and qualification of personnel. Training and qualification of personnel. And personal behavior. And personal behavior. Example. Example. Ensuring capable and skilled employees. Ensuring capable and skilled employees are recruited to manage operations. Are recruited to manage operations. Right. Clear? Right. Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So we'll go to the practical example. Question on page number 6. Page number 6, right. So this practical example give you a detailed understanding with regard to how business organizations are performing risk assessment. Clear? Risk assessment. So this is very much critical for the exam. Right. So this is how you are basically doing the risk assessment, right? So we'll go ahead with this example. Right. ABC company is a company which operated in the apparel industry, and the managing director of ABC devoted the attention for the following key points in the recent board meeting. Right. So basically the MD of managing director of ABC company are discussing few these points with the board of directors. Clear? Right. Okay. So the question says, assume you are the finance manager. Other page. Assume you are the finance manager of ABC company, and based on the above mentioned scenarios, you are expected to carry out the risk identification and risk response from the risk management perspective. So we are talking about only risk identification. Clear? Risk identification and risk response. Right. So අපි එක පොඩ්ඩක් change කරගමු. Risk identification, risk analysis and risk evaluation. You are expected to carry out risk identification, risk analysis and risk evaluation from risk assessment perspective. From risk assessment perspective. Other page. Question. Assume you are the finance manager of ABC company, and based on the above mentioned scenarios, you are expected to carry out risk identification, risk analysis and risk evaluation. Risk identification, risk analysis and risk evaluation from risk management perspective. Right. Okay. Right. So what is the first one? Risk identification. Right. So we try to identify whether they are a risk or not. Clear? Right. First one, as a result of the economical policy which has been taken by the government, the prices of apparel which the company currently export into European market is increased significantly, and further MD stated that at present the company prices are much higher than the competitors which is located in India and China. Further MD stated that as a result of the price increase, the company is experiencing a significant decrease in the current export quantities compared to the previous quarter. Okay. As the finance manager, am I seeing a risk here? What is MD says? As a result of the economical policy taken by the government, the prices of apparel which the company currently exported in the European market is significantly increases. And MD further stated that our prices are much higher than the prices of the competitors who are located in India and China. Again, he further stated that as a result of the price increase, the company is experiencing a significant decrease in the current export quantities compared to previous quarters. Okay. As finance manager, am I seeing a risk here? Am I seeing a risk here? Finance manager risk because the first thing is what? Risk identification. Now we need to identify the risk. Am I seeing a risk? Yes or no? Yes, what is the risk? Decreasing current export quantity is a result of this risk. Increase in price is a factor of this risk. What is the risk here? Competitors' prices are higher, lesser than us, which is a result of the risk. No.
Economical policy?
No. Number one, loss of major market. That is the risk. Loss of major market. That is the risk. මේක තමයි risk එක. Are we clear? Loss of major market is a risk which resulted as a result of what? Of price increase. As a result of the loss of the major market, our current export quantities are drastically going down. That is the end result. But the risk which I see here is what? Loss of major market. Internal or external risk? Ask the question, can you manage or can't? That is the question. Can or can't? Can't. Why? This has happened as a result of economical policy implemented by the government. So this is considered as an external risk. Clear? Got it? Right. Okay. Number two, the company IT system faced several breakdowns during the last 3 months, and the system has been repaired by a system vendor, and he has provided a warranty period of 12 months. Sorry, warranty period of 2 years, not 2 months. 2 years. Company IT system faced several breakdowns during the last 3 months, and system has been repaired by the system vendor, and they have provided a warranty period of 2 years. Am I facing to a risk? Am I facing to a risk? You need to identify the risk first. Identification. Am I facing to a risk? Yes or no? Yes, what is the risk? What is the risk? IT system breakdown. IT system breakdown. Clear? Internal or external? It's an internal risk. Internal risk. Clear? හරිද? අංශක ප්‍රශ්නයක් වගේ. පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තිබුණා. කියා. දැන් ඉස්සෙල්ලා තිබුණ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. දැක්කා. අවුරුදු 10ක ලෙක්චර්ස් කරා මේ මට්ටමට එන මූණ බැලුවම කියන්න ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවද නැති කියලා. කලින් තිබ්බනේ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. මේක මැනේජ් කරගන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද කියන්නේ. කොහොමද අපේ වෙලා තියෙන ලෙවල් එක ලෙක්චර්ස් වලින් දැන්. හැරෙනකොට කියන්නම් ආයි. Clear? So, whether you can control that risk is a different story. First of all, you need to do what? Identify the risk. Clear? Yes or no? Yes, right. Go to the third one. The local competitor is trying to attract companies' most senior and experienced employees while providing a higher salary. And MD further stated that the replacement of these vacancies are much more difficult in the current business context. Am I seeing a risk? Am I seeing a risk? Yes, what is the risk? Loss of senior and experienced employees. Internal or external? Internal. Clear? Okay. Number 4, a minor supplier who supplied material to the company has requested a price increase, and the company is having the ability to accept that price increase. Further, MD stated that the company is in a position to find new suppliers as well if it wanted. Am I seeing a risk? A supplier who supplies material to the company, a minor supplier who supplied material to the company requested a price increase, and MD further stated that we can accept the price increase. If not, we can find alternative suppliers as well. Am I facing to risk? You need to identify the risk. People who say yes, there is a risk. People who say no, why you are saying it's no? Okay, people who say yes. Yes, there is a risk. Ururatu sir. Then I. Okay. People who say no. Why are you saying it's no?
Supply. The thing is, they has the confidence to find new suppliers.
Okay. So my question is, am I facing a risk?
So you can manage.
Can manage is a different story. Whether you can manage that risk is a different story. My question is, am I seeing a risk? Whether you can manage is a different story. If you agree with the price increase, you can manage it. That's okay. If you can find new minor suppliers, right, you can manage the risk. But here I'm asking, manage is the second scenario, second option. Clear? What I'm asking is, are you facing to a risk? Are you facing to a risk?
This pricing this also can be accepted.
Yeah. But am I facing to a risk? Am I facing to a risk? Am I facing to a risk? දැන් මේ පන්ති ඉන්නවට යා කෙම්බිරිස්සාවණෙන් හැදීගෙන එන ළමෙක්. අපි එහෙම හිතමු. කෙම්බිරිස්සාව හැදීගෙන එන ළමෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඔයාටත් කෙම්බිරිස්සාව හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඒ ළමයා මාස්ක් එකක් දාගෙන ඉන්නේ හැබැයි. ඔයාත් මාස්ක් එකක් දාගෙන ඉන්නේ. But still එම්බිරිස්සාව හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පුළුවන්. Whether you can manage or not is a different story. Try to identify the risk as much as possible. Yes or no? Yes. Am I facing the risk here? Yes. What is the risk? Loss of minor existing supply. Agree? Loss of minor existing supply. Clear? But if I agree to the price increase, I might not lose him. Clear? I might not lose him. But if I didn't agree to the price increase, I might lose him. But if I lose, I do have alternative options as well. We'll talk about that separately. So, am I seeing a risk? Yes or no? Yes. Loss of minor supply. Internal or external? Internal. Clear? Got it? Right. Final one. Few of the minor employees have already resigned from the company and several employees are going to resign as well in near future. However, as PMD, the company is having the ability to recruit new staff under the capacity if the situation demands. Am I facing to a risk? Yes or no? Yes, what is the risk? Loss of minor employees. Internal or external? Internal. Terunada. Clear? That is what you referred as what? Risk. But risk identification. This is what you referred as what? Risk identification, which is the first element of what? Risk assessment. Terunada. Yes or no? Yes, clear? Got it? Right. So, what is the second element? Now, the first one is done. Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. First one is done. What is the second one? Risk analysis. Okay, how we are going to analyze the risk? How we are going to analyze the risk? How we are going to analyze the risk? Huh? Sorry? While using the impact and the occurrence. While concentrating on the impact and the occurrence. Clear? Okay, so how we analyzing this risk? If I want to analyze this risk, I will be drawing a graph like this. මට මේ risk එක analyze කරන්න ඕනේ නම් මම හදලා මෙන්න මේ වගේ chart එකක්. මම හදලා මේ වගේ chart එකක්. Clear? So what is the first segment? Impact of the risk. Impact of the risk. Now concentrate. මේක මම අදලා මගේ company මාත් use කරනවා තාම. Clear? This is where the real learning comes into the practical applications. Alright, this is where the real learnings comes to the practical application. Impact of the risk. It would be either what? High or low. Clear? Impact of the risk, either high or low. Number two, possible occurrence. Possible occurrence of the risk. Clear? Again, it would be either high or low. Clear? Now, I'm going to Sanjay. මොකක්ද උනා? No. Okay. Now, I will be putting all these identified 5 risks into 4 cages. මේ identify කරගත්ත risk පහ මම මේ කොටු හතරෙන් මොනවාට හරි දාන්න ඕනේ while analyzing the impact and the possible occurrence. Clear? So that's what it says. Risk analysis. Assessing the impact and the occurrence of the risk. Clear? Right. Go to the first one. Loss of major market. Impact. Impact. High or low? High. Why you are saying it's high? I want the justification. Why you are saying it's high? Huh? Sorry? It's a major market. It's a major market. So the impact is high. Possible occurrence? Possible occurrence? High. Why you are saying it's high? Why you are saying it's high? No. Why you are saying it's high? Occurrence is high කියන්නේ ඇයි? No. External risk හැම එකම occurrence high වෙනවා එහෙනම්. low වෙන්න බෑ. No. Number one company as of now experiencing a drastic drop in the export quantities. That is number one. Number two, competitor prices. At present, India and China exporting at much lesser price than us. As a result of those two, the possible occurrence also high. තේරුණාද? Occurrence එක high වෙන්නේ government එකේ policy එක නිසා නෙමෙයි. Agreed. As of now, China and India exporting at much lesser price than us, then Europe will go to those customers. Europe will go to those suppliers. So in that context, the possible occurrence is also what? High. Yes or no? තේරුණාද? ඔව්ද නැද්ද? තේරුණ නැතනම් අත උස්සන්න. Are we clear? Got it? So I'll put number 1 here. Clear? Rather than putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll put A. A. A කියන first එක A B C D කියලා ගමු. A B C D E පහක් තියෙනවා හොඳයි. So I'll put A to this cage. Clear? Go to the second one. IT system breakdown. Impact of the risk. Impact of the risk. If the IT system breaks down, impact is high. Possible occurrence? Why you are saying it's low? Exactly. There is a warranty period of how many years? 2 years. Clear? Occurrence is low, but if it happens, impact is what? High. Which cage? Which one? Mega. 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 Clear? Got it? Go to the third one. Loss of senior and experienced employees. Impact. Impact. High. Why you are saying it's high? Exactly. Those are senior and experienced employees. If they leave, impact is high. Agreed? Occurrence. Occurrence. From that. Okay. We'll rationalize in that way. Impact of the risk. You are saying high. What is your argument? What is your argument? Senior and experience. I would say no. ඒක නිසා නෙමෙයි. Someone can argue from my corner as well. No. Exactly, spot on. MD stated that if these people leave, replacement would be a difficult task. Yes or no? Replacement would be a difficult task. තේරුණාද? Senior and experience එක කතන්දරයක්, but the most relevant factor is what? Replacement of these employees would be a difficult task. So therefore, impact is what? Impact is high. Not because of their senior and experience. ඒගොල්ලෝ අයින් වෙලා ගියත් තව කට්ටිය හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. Agreed. But here MD stated that if these people leave, recruiting these caliber people are a different task, difficult task. So therefore the impact is what? High. Probable occurrence? Occurrence. High or low? High. Why? Competitor basically offering a higher package. One of our competitors are already offering a higher package. So if the competitor occurs a higher, basically offers a higher package, these employees will definitely what? Leave. Are we clear? Yes or no? Yes. Which cage? First one. See, right. Loss of minor supplier. Impact. Impact. Low. Why? Why? No, not because of their minor suppliers. We can find out new suppliers. MD කියනවා අපිට තව suppliers හොයා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Clear? We do have the ability to find new suppliers. Yes or no? Clear? Then the impact is low. Occurrence? Occurrence? Low. Why you are saying it's low? Companies having the ability to accept that price increase as well. Clear? Then which cage? This one. Got it? Terunada. Clear? Final one. Loss of mine employees. What do you think? Impact? Impact. Why you are saying it's low? Companies having the ability to recruit new, can find new staff. Impact is what? Low. Probable occurrence? Probable occurrence? High. Why? Some already moved and some are in the pipeline. Clear? Which cage? This one? Mega. Terunada. Got it? That is what you referred as what? Risk analysis. Clear? Okay, you identified how many risks? 5 risks. Then you analyze those 5 risks. Clear? Right. My question is this. If someone wanted to rank all these 5 risks as first priority, second priority, third and fourth, what should be the first priority cage? Number 1 priority කියලා දාන්නේ මොන cage එකටද? High and high. This is goes as first priority. Clear? So out of the 5 risks which I identified, this risk and this one are the 2 risks which need immediate attention and action. Clear? That is what you referred as evaluation of risk. Clear? තේරුණාද? මේ පහෙන් උත්තර හොයලා වැඩක් නැහැ මුලින්ම මේකට. මේකට හොයලා වැඩකුත් නැහැ. You need to identify the importance of the risk. That is what you referred as what? Risk evaluation. Prioritizing the risk. Who should be done all this? Management. Clear? So what is the second priority? High impact, low occurrence. Second one is this. Clear? Third, clear? That is what you referred as what? Risk evaluation. තේරුණාද? Got it? Clear? තේරුණාද? ඕක තමයි අපි risk analysis කියලා කරන්නේ. Clear? Online people, are we clear on this?
Yes, sir.
ඔය theory එකට වඩා understanding එකක් ආවනේ මේකේ කොහොමද කරන්න කියලා. Clear? That is what you referred as what? Risk assessment, which is part and parcel of risk internal control systems. තේරුණාද? Okay, take a picture of this. ගෙදර ගිහලා උත්තරේ ලියන්න. ඒක ලියනවා ස්පේස් එක දීලා තියෙනවා. Clear? ඇතිවීමේ හැකියාව. Likelihood, yes. Likelihood of the risk. Clear? තේරුණාද? Got it? Can I erase this? Right. Okay, we discuss about this. Final topic. Inherent limitations of internal controls. Inherent limitations of internal controls. Okay, what are the inherent limitations of internal controls? මොනවාද inherent limitations internal controls වල තියෙන? Right, so we'll discuss one by one. විනාඩි 15ක් තියෙනවනේ. Right. Inherent limitations of internal control systems. Inherent limitations of internal control systems, right. First inherent limitation identified as what? Cost focus. Cost focus. Clear? Cost focus. What do you mean by cost focused? What do you mean by cost focused? Okay, let's assume this example. Let's assume, it's an assumption, nah? Okay, let's assume one day all the 17 people who are located in the classroom right now, clear? All the 17 people who are located in the classroom are in the top management position of blue chips companies in Sri Lanka. Let's assume. Eda loka vinase. Clear? So let's assume all of you who are located in this classroom are in the top layers in all blue chip companies. 8 Conspens, Jetwin, Walkers, LOLC, John Keels, so likewise. Clear? Right. As management, what is the end objective of, what is your end goal? As management, what is your end goal when you are running a business organization? Profit maximization. Clear? Profit maximization. That is your end goal. In order to maximize the profit, what you need to do? For you to maximize profit, what you need to do? You need to have an income which is surpassing your expenses. Agreed? Clear? Agreed? So you need to have an income which is surpassing your expenses. So then you will be having a profit. Okay? Right. Let's say, my question is this. So let's say you are appointed as a finance manager. You are appointed as a finance manager of a company. Clear? You are the finance manager of the company. So you are the head of finance. This company is not having any control over cash collection. Let's assume this company is not having any control over cash collection. People who are spending money as and when they want, and debtors are settling to all the parties, whether we don't know whether it is banked or not, receipt එකක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ, මුකුත්ම control එකක් නැහැ. The first action that you are taking is you are recruiting a cashier. You are recruiting a cashier to this business organization as main cashier, and you are giving a salary of 20,000. Let's assume You are giving a salary of 20,000 for a month. Clear? Then you are recruiting a petty cashier as well, and you agree to pay 10,000 for a month. And you are assigning the responsibility of cash collection and handling to those two people. In your business organization, from tomorrow onwards, no one is responsible for cash collection except for those two people. And you're advising those two people to have better control, and you're advising those two people to issue receipt when they accepted cash. Okay. To implement this control, you incurred additional cost of how much? 30,000, which is not there when you're joining. This is an additional cost. Clear? Okay, what is the overall impact on financial year as a result of this control? 360,000. As a result of you implementing an internal control, there is an additional expense which is amounted to how much? 360,000. Yes or no? Yes. My question is this. At the end of the financial year, are you considering the monetary benefit which you received while incurring 360,000 over a period of 12 months? At the end of the financial year, are you focusing on the monetary benefit of you incurring 360,000 rupees during a period of 12 months? Are you comparing? අවුරුද්ද අන්තිමට බලනවාද 3,00,000 මට වියදම් වුණා කොහමද ලැබිච්ච මොනිටරි බෙනිෆිට් එක මේකේ? Are you comparing? Are you comparing? Yes or no? Yes. Clear? Are you comparing? Yes or no? Yes. If you are comparing that, it is considered as a inherent limitation. That is what you referred as what? Cost focus. Okay, I'll ask you a question like this. පන්තිකස්සු කීයක් ගෙවනවද මාසෙකට? මාස කීයක් ගෙවුවද දැන්? දෙකක් කීයක් ගෙවුවද දැන්? 17000. කො මොනිටරි බෙනිෆිට් එකේ? 14000 ගෙවුවනේ මාස දෙකක්. හවුද නැද්ද? 14000 ගෙවුවද නැද්ද මාස දෙකක්? ගෙවුවා. කො මොනිටරි බෙනිෆිට් එකේ? මට මොනිටරි බෙනිෆිට් එක පෙන්නන්න මට. Hari, a finance management perspective. So you are incurring 14,000. If someone is asking you, right, you incurred 14,000 rupees from your purse. A salary eliyata giya. What is the monetary benefit that you received? Can you show monetary benefit now? No. If you are comparing that from next week onwards, you are not coming to the class. තව මාස 3ක් ගෙවන්න ඕන 7,000 ගානේ. කවුද නැද්ද? තව 21,000 ගෙවන්නත් තියෙනවා එතකොට. එහෙනම් ඔයාලා අපසදම් පන්තියෙන් නෑ පුතා. ඇයි 14,000 වියදම් වුණා ඔක්කොම බෙනිෆිට් එක ගන්නනේ මොනිටරි වැලියු නෑනේ. මට කීයක්වත් රුපියලක් අත ඇවිල්ලා නෑනේ පර්ස් එකට. Yes or no? If you are doing that, that is what you referred as what? Cost focus. You can compare benefit versus cost for anything you can compare, but except for the cost which you incurred for education. It's an investment. Yes or no? අධ්‍යාපනයට වියදම් කරන මුදල දැන් ප්‍රතිලාභයත් එක්ක compare කරන්න එපා. You will be getting that benefit in a future period. Agreed. But for all the other expenses which you are incurring, you better compare with the benefit. කෑම එකක් ගන්න රුපියල් 300ක් දුන්නොත් කැන්ටින් එකට බලන්න බත් එක රහයිද කියලා. බත් එක හම්බෙන්න ඕන නේද? හවුද නැද්ද? G flock එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඇඳුමක් ගන්නවා නම් හොටෙල් එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඇඳුමක් ගන්නවා නම් බලන්න quality එක මොකක්ද කියලා. You can compare the cost versus benefit for everything except for the money which you are incurring for what? Education. If you are comparing the cost versus benefit for education as of now, from next week onwards, you are not coming to the class. Same principle for internal controls. Agreed. Don't compare the cost versus benefit when it's come to the internal controls. As a finance manager, you need to think in this way. Yes, I implemented the control. As a result of that control, the tendency of having fraud and errors for cash got minimized. If the control was not there, the magnitude of the error might be much higher than 360,000 rupees for a year. Yes or no? You need to think in that angle. But being management, you always compare cost versus what? Monetary benefit. If you consider that for internal control, it is considered as what? Inherent limitation. Clear? Terunada?
If the cost is more than the profit, which significantly impact the
Come again?
implementing ERP to SME, that will significantly impact to the profit.
It depends on the business volume. It depends on the business volume. Clear? So, for a SME, are you going to implement QB or are you going to implement SAP? It's your call. Okay, if it is an SME, I'm not going to SAP. If it is SME, I'm not going to Oracle. I will go to Backpack. I'm going to QB, where the initial cost and investment cost is much less. Got it? Clear? Right. Okay, are we clear on this? Terunada? Yes or no? Second one. Very crucial thing. What is that? Management, being the party who are responsible for internal controls, they might override the controls which they have established. Yes or no? While using the power which they have, being the party who will be responsible for internal controls, management might override those internal controls. Yes or no? Yes. For an example, we'll take a classic example. Let's say, what is your name, Puta? Kavindu. Pavilashini and Senadi. Right. Kavindu, Pavilashini and Senadi. Clear? Right. Kavindu is a clerk. Kavindu is a clerk. Pavilashini is the finance manager. Senadi is a cashier. Pavilashini implemented a control like this. When you are when you are incurring an expense for a payment, you need to prepare the payment voucher and you need to obtain the approval from me. Without having my approval, you can't release us cash. So you are giving clear instruction to both parties. Okay. Kavindu come to you, Senadi, with a payment voucher which has not been signed by Pavilashini. 10,000 rupees. Are you releasing cash? No. Agreed? Yes or no? Yes. Right. It's a good thing. Let's say, Pavilashini, you wanted 10,000 rupees for your personal expense today. You are straight away come to Senadi and ask 10,000 denna, man dawas dekin denna. Are you giving? No voucher, nothing. She is asking 10,000 denna, mama denna. Taw dawas turakin man wada denna. Are you giving or not? Are you giving or not? No. May I denna bayakot ගෙදර යවනවද නැද්ද? මෙයා 10,000 දෙන්න බෑකොත් ගෙදර යවනවද නැද්ද? If I were you, definitely I'll sack her. Agreed or not? Yes. Why? Because you ask. ඔය කොච්චර නෑ කිව්වා job එක risk වෙන නිසා මොකද වෙන්නේ? දෙන්න වෙනවා. That is what you referred as what? Management overriding the control. Clear? Management design the internal control, they overriding the same control. Agreed? That was happened to me as well. And be very open. That was happened to me as well, being head of finance. Being head of finance, that has happened to me as well. Due to some logical reasons. Due to some logical reasons. I still remember this was happened 5 years or 5 years, 6 years back. There is a account assistant called Ruan. I told you in the 80 final class. Okay, so there is a account assistant called Ruan. Ruan one day came and asked, sir, මට පිටි කෑෂ් එකෙන් 30000ක් විතර ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? පිටි කෑෂ් එකෙන් 30000ක්. Clear? Then I'm not having the authority to release 30,000 from petty cash. Then I asked the reason, Ruan, මොකද්ද ඔයාට 30000ක් වගේ? He's asking for personal expense. මට පුද්ගලික වැඩකට 30000ක් ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? Then මං එහුව මොකටද? The reason is this, he is having a son who is at grade 7 or 8 at that time. He is having a son who is at grade 7 or 8 at that time. LOLC published an advertisement to sell laptops which is already more than 5 years old. Company use කරපු laptops වගේ විකුණන්න advertisement එකක් internet එකේ දාලා තිබුණා. So the laptop will cost for employees 50,000 rupees. ඕක එළිය ගන්න ගියා නම් ලක්ෂ 2කට වඩා යනවා. Since Ruan doesn't have money, he came to me and asked, sir, මට 30000 පිටි කෑෂ් එකෙන් දෙන්න, මට laptop එක ගන්න ඕනේ. මම මේක installment 3කින් මාස ගානේ 10000 ගෙවන්න. He is asking company money for a personal usage. Agreed? Can I say no? Technically, I should say no. Technically, I should say no. But I approved it. While using my powers, I approved it. While using my power, I approved it. සේනාදී 아무තු විදිහට මගේ දේවල් නෑ. Typical internal control. Internal auditors. Typical internal audit මෙහෙම බලනවා. ඇයි එහෙම කරේ? මට අහුණා නම් ගානවා report එකක් කෙලින්ම. I approved it. Because there is a what you call human need, right? ළමයාගේ අධ්‍යාපනයේටනේ. I approved it and I explained that to my boss. Boss මං ගිහලා කිව්වා මම මෙහෙම දෙයක් කරා. You just keep it that in your mind. Which is basically beyond the company's protocol. I did a thing like this and I inform my superior as well. From my side, I override the control. Can that be happen to you? Yes, can be happen. හැබැයි රුවන් එවල් කියනවා මට 30000ක් දෙන්න. මට බෝතල් දෙකක් ගන්න ඕනේ යාළුවොත් එක පාටියක් තියෙනවා. එහෙම නම් දෙන්නේ නැහැ පුතා. ළම සතේ පාටි දෙනවා බෝතල් දෙකක් ගන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම ඉල්ලුවා නම් දෙනවද? එහෙම ඉල්ලුවා නම් දෙන්නේ. Clear? Yes or no? Clear. That is what you referred as what? Management overriding the control. This one. Collusion. It's a fraud. Collusion is a fraud. What I did is what? While using my power, I approved 30,000 rupees for one to take the laptop, to buy the laptop. That is basically an error. Collusion is what? It's a fraud. Collusion is a fraud. Agreed? Okay. For an example, Pavilashini. Pavilashini instructed Senadi to do a cash count each day. හැමදාම මෙයාට කියනවා cash count එක කරලා cash balance කරලා යන්න. Senadi හැමදාම cash count කරලා cash balance කරලා යන්නේ. දහවස cash balance කරනකොට 10,000 ලාච්චුවේ වැඩි. Cash book is having 100,000 whereas the drawer is having 110,000. 10,000ක් ලාච්චුවේ වැඩි. මොකද උනේ data කෙනෙක් ගෙනලා 10,000ක් සල්ලි දුන්නා ලාච්චුවට දාගත්ත රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න බැරි වුණා අමතක වුණා. Clear? You missed out that. තුන් පාරක් ගණන් කරලා තුන් පාරම 10,000ක් ලාච්චුවේ වැඩි. Now she is going to the finance manager with the drawer. කබිලාෂන් ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා පවිලාෂන් ළඟට ඇවිල්ලා කියනවා 10,000 ලාච්චුවේ වැඩි මොකද කරන්නේ? මට වැරදුනාක් දන්නේ ඔයා ගණන් කරලා බලන්න. She also counting. Now the 10,000 difference is there. You took the 10,000 and keep 7,000 books with you and giving 3,000 to her, then you ask, now just check whether that telling or not. Can that be happen? එයා මොළුවත් තනනවා දැක්කද වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Can that be happen? පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පුළුවන්. That is what you referred as what? Collusion. Collusion is a fraud. Got it? Collusion is a fraud. Clear? Right. Even though we designed all this internal control properly, who will implement all those? People. People will do what? Human mistakes. People will do what? Human mistakes. Agreed? Finally, most of the internal controls are related to what? Day-to-day operations. Most of the controls are focusing on what? Day-to-day operations. But there may be transaction which is not happening on day-to-day basis. For an example, sale of fixed asset, purchase of fixed asset, which will not happen on daily basis. But something happens for those transactions, the magnitude of the errors or frauds might be much higher than the normal day-to-day transactions. Yes or no? So therefore, internal controls has to be there for day-to-day transactions and ad hoc transaction both. ඔය දෙකටම internal controls තියෙන්න ඕනද නැද්ද? තියෙන්න ඕනේ. But due to the cost factors, most of the time management is focusing the internal controls only for what? Day-to-day transactions. Agreed. But if something happens out of the day-to-day transactions, though the magnitude of the error or the fraud might be much steeper than the day-to-day transactions. Clear? That is also considered as part and parcel of what? Inherent limitations. Are we clear? තේරුණාද? Got it? So there are 5 inherent limitations of internal control. So what are those 5? Cost focus, management overriding the control, collusion, people mistakes, and controls are basically focusing on day-to-day transactions. Clear? Got it? Picture එකක් ගහගන්න. Cost focus, management overriding the controls, collusion, human errors, day-to-day transactions. Clear? Got it? Now you can take a full picture of this. Clear? All good? Okay, so that brings us to the end of the tute. Clear? Online people, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, so the first segment of internal controls we have done. Right. So upcoming weekend is when? 30th. 30th, I think. Right. 30th, we will be doing what you call tute number 8. තියෙනවනේ කරන්න. Tute number 8 quality control කරා අපි. කරානේ quality control. නැද්ද? නෑ quality control කරේ නෑ. Right. So next week I will be starting tute number 8 and we will be completing these 2 segments and we'll go to the internal control once again. හරිද? එතකොට ලබන සතියේ internal control එකේ second tute එකත් හම්බෙනවා. But before we jump to the second tute of the internal control, we'll finish tute number 8 and we'll go to tute number 7.2 after that. Clear? තේරුණාද? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Fine. So I'll see you on next week, guys. And what do you call? Friday, extra class is there. September 5th. Long weekend. Full day. එදාට ගණන ටික අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම එක්සෑම් එකට එනවා හොඳේ. හරිද? අද වෙනකම් කරපු කිසිම දෙයක් ආවේ නැතත් එදාට ගණනේ මොකද වෙන්නේ? අනිවාර්යෙන් එක්සෑම් එකට එනවා. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ එදාට ක්ලාස් ආව නැත්නම් exam fail. Clear? Right. See you guys. I'll see you next week.